And welcome to EFRA WS and the finals of the 1/10th IC Touring Cars from Ettlington here in Germany. Now, in just a few short hours, someone will be standing on this step. It won't be me, but we have all the action from the semi-finals and the finals to find out who is going to be the European champion in Germany today. Well, the first semi-final was all about Dirk Wuschinecki. In fact, it was a very dull race with Dirk getting ahead, then not an awful lot happening behind him. Jules Groskamp, an early favourite, went out with a gearbox issue, but Dirk kind of cruised to a victory, leading Rico Krober and the world's best named racing driver, Biagio Spartano, into 1, 2, 3. But would they make the finals? Yes, but of course it's 4 plus the 2 fastest losers. But we just hoped for a better second semi-final. So the grid saw Robert Peach on pole from Eric Dankel, had the temerity to actually go past the German, who's been the class of the field throughout the weekend. Eric then streaked into a 3 or 4 second lead as Robert just couldn't work out what on earth had happened. And behind the field was by far a better second semi-final with lots of action all the way down the field. Here we see Robert. He's had enough really of Eric being in the lead now, and after 4 or 5 laps, Eric says, "Nah, off you go, let me through. This is all about qualifying, this is all about making the final." Great battle behind. Timu Linu, Ronan Volker, Mark Green, and the number 7 car of Manuel Huber. Unfortunately, whilst this went on for many laps, Ronan Volker went out to a problem where he got fuel into his radio box. Mark Green also went out, unfortunately, with a gear mesh issue. So 2 of the early favourites out of the race. They let Linu happily in to qualify, as it did for Huber. They ended up 3rd and 4th. But the big battle here, right at the end, it was for the 5th place and the chance to get into the A final. It's Adrian Bernstein, who actually had called a timeout on the grid. It was started 11th, almost a lap behind. As you can see, he's about to be lapped by Robert Pietsch there. And he fought his way up against the number 10 car of Dirk Stanley. He got a huge bit of help off that conflict. So he knocked out by Dirk. And then Dirk, in trying to let Robert through, gets nudged. And suddenly Adrian's through and he's actually into the final. Robert cruises on now the last lap. He won by, I think, nearly a lap and a half on the entire field. So who has made the top 10? It's 4 from each final, the 2 fastest losers. Well, who will be in the final? Well, that little graphic's coming up right now. No surprise to find Robert Peach in pole and Dirk Wuschinecki in second. It's Eric Dankel third, Manuel Huber fourth, Timu Limu from Finland in fifth, a fellow Scandinavian in Adrian Bernstein in sixth, Michael Derderian from France, who's bumped up from 2 finals, I think, and then Rico Krober, Sparato Biagio, well, it's Biagio Sparato, and then Dario Bellestri, the 2 Italians at the back of the grid. And here is, aren't they sweet? They are getting ready for the grid. Off we go for the 1/10th IC European Championship final here in Ettlingen in Germany, and much it has been all weekend. It is a clean start, and leading away it's Robert Peach, the Mugen driver from the X-Ray of Dirk Wuschinecki. Third there is Eric Dankel. Unfortunately, Eric was to hit problems during this race and didn't get even close to making the trip. But the race, the final and the event has been all about these 2 guys, Robert and Dirk. No one's really been on their pace at any time from the moment they unloaded the cars from the back of the trailers, or I suppose repo from the back of the estate cars. It's been Robert who's looked particularly good. Dirk seemed to have speed over a lap, and as you can see, they're very, very close going through these first couple of laps. A bit further on here we see this is about 4 minutes in, and this is as close as Dirk got in this first session. Came rust up the inside there. He was very quick through that flowing movement behind the back of the start-finish straight, but he was quick coming into there, but Robert had speed in the rest of the track. Now, of course, we look as they go past, and we're already getting through past back markers of just 3 minutes, but it's still Robert from Dirk. Now, in third place moment here was Biagio Sparato, the 9th starting Italian, who made a leap through the field, but we were soon to find this wasn't true pace, because the young man had decided to make 2 tyre stops, one every 15 minutes, compared to the other drivers who were all trying to last a bit longer. Now, tyre wear, he had 3 sets of tyres, they were all more optimised, but the tyre wear was going to cause problems in the end. I'm afraid Biagio dropped back and he lost too much time and then had some problems. But up the front, no such problems for Robert Pietsch, who was, again, well, just driving away from the field. He managed to pick up about 7 seconds lead from Dirk as he comes in now. This is the big stop. This is his stop when he actually changed tyres. So we just jump in the camera. He's now changed his tyres. It's quite a long stop. It takes about a minute to, because it's not individually screwed on. It's much slower than it is with 1/8 track cars where they kind of ping off on special mounts. Anyway, here he goes around the cut. Now, at the same time, Dirk had come into the pits. We weren't quite sure what strategy they were on. They're both coming into the pits, and out they come now. And well, we thought, wow, Dirk's ahead. Dirk's made it up. But unfortunately, he'd actually lost a lap. So he's actually now virtually a lap behind Robert. Later found out he had a problem in his tyre changing pit stop where he'd flamed out, so he had to get the car restarted and lost 4 or 5 seconds. And at this point, it was obvious that the fight was going out of Dirk and Robert. Once gets a lap, they have to let him through. Robert is the lead; he has to let him through. And unfortunately, even though Dirk probably had some quite good race pace at that point, there was nothing he could do. This is now the last pit stop for our leader, Robert Peach. But he controlled the lead. He was about 2/3 of a lap to a lap ahead, depending where they were on strategy. Dirk now is going to come in for his last stop. Great performance by the young German, but just at the end of the day, Robert and his Mugen were just a bit too quick for Dirk and his X-Ray, certainly at this track. But nothing to be ashamed about there for Dirk. He's putting a great performance in all weekend. Third place, Timo Lima, the X-Ray, the Finnish driver, the man who is, of course, a European electric touring car champion. He came third. He's a couple of laps back, and there he's losing a lap to our race... well, I'll tell you now, race winner, Robert Peach, but Timo had a car that had like a bag of spuds for the last 10 laps as he kind of ran out of tyres and probably did more than plastic, but luckily he'd established enough of a lead to keep him confirmed at that bottom step of the podium. But now this is Robert Peach on his victory run, the young German adding the European Championship, his World 1/8 Championship he won earlier in the year in Miami. What a fantastic performance by Robert Peach, fantastic weekend, and I think he's pretty pleased.
Yeah, it was super good, amazing, big fight between Dirk and me. I think he had some problems after the first refueling, and then I pulled away a little bit, and after that I just saved my tires. And I know that he is 1 lap behind me, so I know if I can keep the distance to him, I will win the race.
So this is you're now a world champion and a European champion, different class in the same year. So 2011, good year.
Yeah, super good year. Only one title is missing, but I'm happy with 2.
Dirk, bad luck. You were really quick, but somewhere in the middle of the race, you kind of lost a lap, didn't you?
Yeah, of course. I had a problem in the first part of the race. I made a mistake, unfortunately, on the beginning of the straight, so I lost there maybe 3 or 4 seconds, and then was a gap to Robert. I think the tire set something was wrong. The second tire set was much better. So yeah, I lost the lap. Also, I flamed out at the tire change, so then I was behind Robert, 1 lap behind, and so we end.
Timo Lehno, happy with third?
Yeah, I'm very pleased. Those 2 guys in the front, Robert and Dirk, they raced whole week in pretty much their own pace. So third was good.
But it's a great performance, and you must be very pleased to have got on the podium.
Yeah, I'm very pleased.
Well, you've met the top 3, and here are the others. Rick Crow was 4th, Manuel Huber 5th, Michael Derderian was 6th, and the unlucky people were Adrian, Biagio and Eric, who did not make the trip. So, to the winner go the spoils, and the winner here in Etlingen is indeed Robert Peach. A fantastic performance all weekend. And that's all from Germany from us, but tune in next week from France, from Tuesday, when Ollie and Matt will be at the 1/10th Off-Road Electric Championships in France. So there's even more EFRA action, so don't forget, keep coming back to EFRA and thanks for tuning in.